It is China's greatest icon, the Great Wall of China. And China's greatest leader, Mao Zedong, once said, "You're not a true man unless you climb the Great Wall." These days, there's a whole new cultural revolution and a new business philosophy behind it, as we'll discover in this episode. Hello, I'm Grainger.
Welcome to New China, hip and trendy. Young people relaxing in a beer garden on a Saturday afternoon in the southern tech city of Shenzhen, living proof of how dramatically Chinese culture is transforming. Even at the Forbidden City, nothing, it appears, is forbidden anymore, with young Chinese out to have fun.
The cultural experience of a China that is going through a profound economic transformation, historic transformation, is one of the most exciting things that's happening in China today.
China's burgeoning middle class is cashed up and ready to spend, with profound influences on a wide range of cultural activities, from food and fashion to art, architecture and celebrations.
New China is much more diversified than the old China. The change has been fast because with the digital globalization, people can receive so much information and different values, beliefs, and arts form. So the culture has been changing rapidly. They embrace the Western culture. Also, they try to keep the good elements from other culture. For example, we see the very successful international arts festivals, music festivals in China happening very quickly.
Ahead, we'll look at those aspects of Chinese life and how Chinese businessmen and women are adapting to their changed world. From the hot and spicy foods of Sichuan province to the hottest of Beijing fashion designers. From the artists of the 798 Art District to the movie metropolis of Qingdao. New Year, New China, as we experience China's blossoming contemporary culture and the business brains backing it. All to come in this episode of Futuristic China. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon at People's Park in the Sichuan capital of Chengdu, an opportunity to charm your sweetheart out on a rowboat. Dance your heart out in an open-air performance. Or take in the talents of the tea-pouring artist.
We have the dominant Han culture, which accounts for 85% of the population. There are many minorities. In absolute numbers, they're very small. But even with the Han culture, you have in the north Mandarin, Putonghua speaking people, in the south in Guangdong, Cantonese speaking people, and a huge diversity of food, even within the dominant Han culture.
Like all aspects of Chinese life, cuisine is heavily influenced by geography and ethnic diversity.
So everywhere we're going here in China, every province we go to, we see such a rich diversity of food. How important is food to the Chinese culture?
There's a saying in China, people regard food as heaven. Chinese food culture mirrors its history. You will experience that in Peking duck restaurants and other restaurants.
The sheer abundance of restaurants in Chengdu and the passion of diners to frequent them is overpowering.
The restaurant business in Chengdu is flourishing. There are over 40,000 restaurants and more than 600,000 people who are working in this industry in Chengdu.
With so many restaurants, there's tough competition amongst chefs to come up with something different. Wang Xinru is one of China's hottest young chefs.
I've loved cooking since I was young. But now it's not enough to be just a cook. It's necessary to do something that has global popularity. You have to learn management, because good management, combined with good food, will allow you to be more successful, serving more people and friends with good gourmet food.
Your restaurant is known as Futuristic, and of course that's the famous dish with a 100-year heritage.
Futuristic is a famous dish of Sichuan. It means pork lungs in chili sauce. It's also the name of our restaurant. While other restaurants sell this dish, we are the authentic one.
So we see the famous dish, but we see also that you have taken the Sichuan cooking and dishes and recipes, and you're adding your own innovations.
Yes, this Futuristic is made in the traditional way of cooking. These two are also traditional Sichuan dishes, but evolved and are displayed in a different way. They all taste like traditional Sichuan food.
Because food plays such a very vital part in Chinese culture.
Correct, especially Sichuan cuisine. It's one of 4 famous cuisines in China. Now there's the possibility for us to be number 1 in all 4 cuisines. You can find Sichuan dishes everywhere. People from all over the country like to eat Sichuan cuisine. People are excited by its spicy taste, excited like how you felt just now. All young people like Sichuan food. This dish is a traditional Sichuan dish called fish dressed with spicy bean sauce. We split a whole fish body into 2 dumpling-shaped dishes. When we take them to our customers, they're surprised and ask us why there are 2 dumplings. But when they eat them, they realize they're the taste of fish dressed with spicy bean sauce. In fact, I also added Sichuan thick broad bean sauce too, as broad bean paste is the soul of Sichuan cuisine. We must have it in the dish. Please take some, then eat it in one bite.
I'll follow you.
Yeah. 然后一口吃掉。看着很像饺子的皮。
It looks like dumpling skin, but the radish can help neutralize the grease from salmon and make it feel real crisp and tasty.
脆爽的感觉。
We have rich cooking materials in Sichuan. The older generation chefs are very smart. They've developed various kinds of tastes. Sichuan food has the most taste. 12 different tastes in the past, but now we've developed more than 20 tastes. Kung Pao is a typical Sichuan taste. People throughout the world like it. Therefore, we blend Kung Pao taste into beef, serve as Kung Pao taste with Australian beef. Have a taste, please. Let me cut it for you.
And it's not only the fine Australian beef, as you say, but also the sauce.
A bit sour and a bit sweet.
Melts in the mouth.
For Chengdu's business leaders, marketing their successful style of food is their top priority.
In recent years, Chengdu has made a lot of efforts to promote its food brands and introduce Sichuan food to the world. For instance, we have held a Chengdu Food Festival in San Francisco for 2 consecutive years. We've also held food-related events across the United States and Spain. This has helped us further enhance Chengdu's food reputation overseas.
As the Chinese economy booms, Chinese people have far more money to spend on things like entertainment. Movies are booming here in China, especially here in Qingdao. We're at the Qingdao movie metropolis. $10 billion injected into this project alone.
The vast production site of the movie metropolis is being constructed by Wanda Studios and is funded by one of China's wealthiest men, Wang Jinling. This year alone, 6 major Hollywood productions are being filmed here, with big stars like Nicole Kidman having already worked here. President of Wanda Studios Qingdao is Sun Hengqing.
We have the Wanda Mall, Wanda Theme Parks, 4 hotels, yacht club, Grand Theatre, and show theatre even. So we have a coastal bar street. So it's a huge project. We have made agreement with the biggest investment of Chinese movie history, that is Fengshen Trilogy. The investment will be roughly about 3 billion yuan Chinese renminbi. And the crew will stay here for at least 1.5 years. They will use 11 studios. We have 30 studios up to now, and 10 studios are still being built. By the end of the year, there will totally be 40 studios.
How important is movie making to the Chinese people?
Personally, I believe that when people's income or our per capita income has reached to $8,000 this year, so people's demand for cultural products will be huge. So this is the right time for Wanda Studios or the movie metropolis of Qingdao to do its job to create the best products spiritually for the Chinese people. So all the studios was designed by the world top-class technical companies. We have already shot movies like Great Wall, a movie by Chinese directors and Hollywood movie stars. And last year we shot a movie here called Pacific Rim Uprising, and it's also a joint effort between Chinese company and legendary entertainment from Hollywood.
What's in the pipeline? What's ahead for Wanda?
Wanda Film Group has been concentrated on filmmaking, not only the studios, not only the hardware, but the software. So we are building a post-production center now to attract more filmmaking companies to come to this metropolis. We do not only offer the studios, so now we are offering services or IT infrastructure, like we put one acceleration services to the filmmaking companies to ensure they will send their contents from here to anywhere in the world at the maximum speed and in a very, very secure way. And also we have the internet infrastructure here was planned, designed, and operated exactly according to MPAA standard. And here we have a digital lab. We call it Wanda Digital Lab. The lab was equipped with very good top-class facilities that will make sure the companies who have post-production will use these facilities or use these services. So like pre-dubbing, mixing, and DI, VFX, ADR, and Foley, cutting, editing. So all these services will make sure the filmmaking company will get the best services. It's really a time for China to grow this full television film industry.
One measure of China's meteoric move to modernize is how the Chinese dress. Gone are the blue Yatsen suits introduced by Chairman Mao as a form of national dress in the 50s, replaced by contemporary clothing. In the world of fashion, China is making a statement, as witnessed in the stylish garments created by China's top fashion designer, Chu Yan.
In global fashions, where is Chinese fashion?
Frankly speaking, the modern Chinese fashion profession started quite late in global terms. The concept of fashion design only surfaced in China in the late 80s. That's when the whole Chinese fashion industry actually started, the late 80s. That means the profession has only had a relatively short history, 20 to 30 years. Such a short time span to create world-class designs and clothes. It has been a challenge, but we have risen to the task. Compare that the Western fashion profession, which has had more than a century to blossom and develop. It is a very short period. But given that short time span, Chinese fashion has evolved extremely quickly. Like other industries in China, the speed of change has been dramatic, significant. Although there's no great influential Chinese brand on the world market yet, we see more and more Chinese fashion designers and brands appear on the world fashion stage over the most recent 5 years. World Fashion Week was a big showcase. Chinese designers were able to show their brand and new releases. At World Fashion Week, our Chinese designers were recognized by their peers and leaders in the world fashion community. The speed of development amongst Chinese designers is increasing quickly, and their influence is growing.
So, what influence is Chinese fashion having on global fashion styles?
To be honest, the influence of Chinese culture, art, and fashion is being elevated. This is in line with the elevation of our country's economic ability and role. China's fashion design and fashion industry are exactly the same. For example, if we go back 1,000 years to China's Tang Dynasty, the clothing then had a big influence on global fashion. What is now known as Xi'an was then called Chang'an, the ancient capital of more than 10 dynasties. People from all over the world went to Chang'an for new trends, new inspiration, new technology, and new styles. It was the equivalent of traveling to New York and Paris today. So the world is turning. I think in the near future, no matter whether it's Beijing or Shanghai, China will be a major fashion capital, pride of Chinese fashion brands and fashion designers. At that stage, China will truly be a global fashion influencer.
Art is one area in China that's exploding, just like the economy. This is the district of 798. Used to be an industrial zone. These days, 500 galleries, 1,000 artists.
The 798 Art District of Beijing is not only a centre for art and artists, it also attracts big crowds of Chinese keen to view the latest works.
If you live in Beijing, you'll see that there are many, many districts containing thousands of artists who are producing an extraordinary body of work and have been for the last 25 years.
Amongst the artists that paint and exhibit here is the man who lobbied so hard to set up the entire 798 district.
文化在中国应该是非常重要的一个这个在生活里日常生活。
Culture is an important part in people's daily life in China. In historical terms, Chinese civilization is the only one in the world which hasn't been interrupted.
这个文化这个
It's had thousands of years to develop. It has rich spiritual connotations.
底蕴和内涵。中国的这个对文化的诉求。
The taste that Chinese people have for art operates on many, many levels.
这个地区差异。
Since China is such a big country, there's huge regional disparity.
文化的传承。
Different areas have their own customs.
经济发展的规模。
Local economies are into different levels of their development phase. It's this variety that makes Chinese culture so colorful.
非常丰富多彩的这样一个样子。
Certainly the art created by artists in the 798 Art Zone is colourful. It's a thriving community, one that exemplifies the artistic rebirth across China.
798艺术区呢，现在
The 798 Art District is the largest and most active art district in the world.
一个艺术区。
There are approximately 500 galleries, studios, and design offices that focus on art activities.
机构艺术家工作室
Of these, 175 are art galleries.
大约有500余家这样一个。
Each of these galleries hold a few exhibitions every
我
year.
们光画廊有175家
Each year, there are over 1,000 art exhibitions held
展
here.
览每个画廊，所以这个我们每年
There are also more than 1,000 functions held here.
就超过1000场。然后呢，很多时尚品牌
These include the release of new fashion brands, as well as shows demonstrating new concepts. Collectively, there are over 2,000 shows held here each year. Nowhere in the world do you see such a diverse range of activities like this. In 2017, 4.5 million people visited here. 1 in 4 of those are foreign friends.
One prominent visual area of Chinese culture, old and new, is its architecture. While China of old has had an architectural style that has taken shape over many centuries, its modern buildings are bold in design, speaking volumes for an architectural and building fraternity that clearly wants to make a statement.
One measure of just how much the Chinese economy has boomed is here in the central Sichuan village of Dujianyan. Now, the Chinese are flocking here in their millions to get a taste of old China.
What's old is back in vogue with Chinese tourists. The Chinese rush to bulldoze old neighbourhoods and replace them with modern high-rise apartments and office towers means there's a growing appetite to experience what once was.
I think that's a very interesting phenomenon happening in China. Every year when I went back to China, I did the same thing. I will visit some old towns. I think because the modern life, the pressure from the fast changes society, the unaffordable housing, the stress make people want to seek the tranquility. They idealize the old China, the tradition, the culture, the heritage. They go back to visit. Also, they want to find the peace. They want to feel proud of the being a Chinese.
And finally, China's biggest celebration by far. It's like New Year, Christmas and Easter all rolled into one. Come celebrate China's New Year.
It's also known as the Spring Festival in modern China, the turn of the traditional lunar solar Chinese calendar, marking a time when the Chinese stop working and start partying.
Chinese New Year is a time for people to celebrate the harvest from previous year. To celebrate the Chinese New Year, people like to use the dragon dance to wish the good luck and scare off the bad spirit. The most important thing for Chinese New Year is the family reunion. So people wanted to see their family, especially with the modern days. A lot of people working in overseas, working in different cities. But at this time, people like to make effort to go back to see their family, to have a New Year's Eve feast together.
While the Chinese New Year is by far the biggest of Chinese celebrations, it's the talented face change artist that is the most symbolic because, as we've experienced in this series, across so many areas from high-tech and artificial intelligence to innovation, energy and transport, the face of China is changing ever so rapidly.